Jason Aldean thing, which is incredible, Rich.
Right.
Like, God, Rick, I called you Rich, I don't know, which is incredible because I love a lot of like chick singers, and it seems like every single one is just dropping dead to me with what they do.
Yeah.
And did you see what Sheryl Crow was saying?
I know
about
it's so much bullshit outrage. And I mean, the bottom line, well, one thing, Jason Aldean didn't write the song.
Okay.
Number two, Jason Aldean probably had nothing to do with the video concept except for showing up and doing it. And most people have no idea any of the history of that courthouse and all the crap that people are bringing up.
I didn't even see the video.
No, and dude, it's like, it's funny. If people talk about dog whistles, it's a racist dog whistle. Well, I didn't hear it, so I guess I'm not a racist, but they all sure heard it.
Yeah.
You know, how is it you hear, I don't hear a racist dog whistle, but they're like, oh, I hear that. Do you see this? It drives me nuts because it allows these just idiots to just pontificate on things they have nothing about, no knowledge, and shit that just, and it's just race, and
Well,
so, yeah.
But it's another example of, and then I want to pay you a compliment, but it's another example of fucking, this is what drives me nuts about this country. And I was talking about when they, and this is what's happening now, when they make the laws for the 1% of the people that break the law and not the 99% of the people that follow them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if you were listening when I was losing my mind right before you came on, but it's like, if these dumb people like Sheryl Crow are like, oh, you can't have guns, you'll kill people. So, Rick, you worked your balls off to have that fucking career you have and to have the life you have and to be the God-fearing God that you probably are, but I'm not throwing religion into this, but I use it in my example. It's like, but the second you get a gun to protect all you've worked for, you know, you will use it to kill someone? No. But the 1% of people that will, that's who we have to keep guns from. And they're the 1% of people that don't give a fuck about your gun laws.
They're going to get them anyways. And my wife always says this, murder is already illegal. So if murder is illegal, then like if that law doesn't change it, why does? My wife's 5'1". And honestly, she gets attacked by somebody bigger than her. What's the one equalizer? A gun. A gun's the only thing that's going to keep her safe against a bigger, predator. Yeah. And same thing, keep my house safe.
That's redundant. Yeah. Oh, you said bigger and predator. I thought he was being redundant. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, bigger predators. But no, it's ridiculous. Yeah, they try to. The thing is, and I always say this, I have this fight all the time. Law-abiding people that own guns are not going to break the law. Criminals will break the law. So criminals will always have guns. So why not allow the people that are God-fearing or at least law-abiding have a gun? And that goes for anyone who's going to be law-abiding. And I love how that's another thing they always try to do. They try to throw in all different kinds of, well, you wouldn't want this person to have a gun. I'm like, as long as I own it legally, I want everyone to own a gun legally.
Yeah.
That's responsible.
And they make it fucking impossible for us to get a gun.
Like, for you guys, man, in New York, it's ridiculous. I mean, now I think we actually have constitutional carry. But even when I went to get my carry before that, I had to go get fingerprints, take a class, which I think is not a bad idea. No. I think people should have to understand gun safety, period.
Yeah. And I think Aaron one time asked the boss, like, what do I need to know? What do I need to do if I'm getting a gun? He's like, you need to practice. You need to fucking practice. You need to practice safety and all that stuff. And people, and I say the people that aren't rooted, and here was the compliment I was going to pay you before my phone was vibrating.
Oh, I'm ready.
Like crazy.
Go ahead.
No, I say this about comedy, and I think and the people that try to attack fucking musicians and fucking comedians, the only people that can still have a voice about this shit, okay? Because politicians, the artists, they don't realize fucking what. That this is like fucking art now. This is as much fucking art as fucking the greatest novel ever written, fucking Horton, heard that who? Fucking, and they're not all about fucking Curious Monkeys. And the greatest work of art.
By George!
Da Vinci's Last Supper, if you get a chance, take a look. He captured that moment as the Jews were splitting the check 13 different ways. But I will say this.
But who paid? Who actually paid the tip though?
Oh Jesus! But they charged him even though the water turned into wine and he got the unlimited breadsticks. The point I'm making is, I hate when comics
water turned into vodka.
It's just vodka.
What the fuck?
I hate when comics, and I'm wondering what the equivalent is, fucking say, well, I just want to be funny. That's not enough anymore, okay? You can get on stage and tell fucking jokes.
Right.
You can fucking be like, point is, like, comics now, like, I just want to be funny. And that's not enough. Like, we have a chance to fucking try and, get this stuff out there. And when people like Sheryl Crow, the musician, is like, and they just sing the fucking lockdown voice of the fucking left. Like, do you see that? in your industry? And before you answer that, because it's a Gino question, because I see you as one of those people who is a voice, who fucking makes a difference, who fucking puts out great music, but when you listen to the lyrics, you're like, God damn it, he's right. Like, are there people like that in the biz that just say stupid
there's so
shit?
many. Actually, the entire country industry has gone completely the way of the woke.
Really?
It's crazy. Oh yeah, completely. There's only a handful of people. That's why Jason Aldean's getting so much shit, because him and his wife haven't like kind of kowtowed to it. So they're just trying to get them every chance they get. No, a lot of new younger artists have kind of gotten in. They took over the CMAs. They took over everything. I mean, and they basically kind of just gone along with the whole Hollywood side of things. That thing, and I mean, and that's I'm generalizing a lot because there are a lot of good people, but honestly, people that feel a certain way aren't able to say it, which is funny because you talk about fascism. I'm more concerned about how I say things, what I say, where I say them, than any of these people that'll be out on the left just spouting any kind of shit they want all day long.
Yeah.
So who's being suppressed? I monitor what I say because I'm afraid of the cancel culture or whatever that shit is.
That's too bad. Yeah.
You know,
Nowadays it's country wokestrin.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it's not. It's just like any other form. And it's sad because other artists. Well, it's funny. It's like Rage Against the Machine should be called Rage for the Machine.
I can't listen, and I love their music. And the second I'm like, and I hear fucking like I listened to Sirius XM a lot, and I'm listening to Tom Morello, and I'm stupid with like I didn't know fucking I don't know guys in bands. I know bands, like I don't know the names.
Right.
And once I heard Tom Morello fucking was in fucking Rage, I'm like, I hear his voice and I want to fucking vomit.
But when he recorded like Bulls on Parade or something, aren't we talking about the 90s? He was a different person.
Does it matter?
Yeah, it matters.
No, because when you make Bulls on Parade and you get this kind of notoriety, now you have a voice and you're like, we're Rage Against the Machine. And when you literally are like, and am I wrong to think, Rick, that a lot of kids still like, they're so badass, we should listen to them? Like, you have a responsibility.
Right, I see your point.
You know, he's just a fucking, I always compare them to that fucking talk show host in the movie V for Vendetta, who was the mouthpiece of the left, and then fucking the second, the tyrant. And the second he turned on him and made one joke, they killed him.
That wasn't one joke. He was making fun of our leader. He had him under the couch and behind, right?
Yeah. It's a great movie.
That guy burnt.
Yeah.
This group of people will eat their own. You know, here's the thing. If I don't like something, I will either just not deal with it, move on. I might say something, but I'm not going to get angry. I'm not going to try to stop someone from doing something I don't like. Right. I just get it out of my life. I think the crazy thing is, and this is one of the philosophies, is I think the difference between conservatives and like progressives or liberals is I think progressives just have bad ideas, and progressives and liberals think that conservatives are bad people. Mm-hmm. And I don't get that. I try to like go, well, cool. I mean, I don't get your idea, but let's talk about it. There's no dialogue. There's no openness. It's just all my way or no way.
Well, there are people who, there are people who haven't learned, one, to ask questions, and two, more importantly, to listen to their God-given gift of common sense. It's common sense. I find everything like that. Even the example I made right before we brought you on about guns. Like if you worked your life off for everything, and you love the freedom of your country, and you fucking are a God-fearing Christian or Jew or whatever the fuck it is, and you believe in a higher power. And I always say this: without God, there is no gratitude. I heard that somewhere. Without gratitude, there is no Gratcast. But somebody said that once, Rick. I always forget who it was on Rogue, and I forget but he said it just rings so true.
Yeah.
Without God, there is no gratitude. When I say God, I don't care if you're Christian, Jewish, I don't care if you're a Druid, as long as you worship something, and fucking every time something happens to you, you've got a little humility saying, I didn't get here on my own. And not the arrogance of these people who want to separate, who want to put fucking the fucking state over fucking God. And all the people were the ones like, oh yeah, I trust science more than nature. I trust man more than God. Mm-hmm. I trust fucking 2 years of more than fucking 500 million years of evolution. And these are the same people that they're so arrogant, they don't ask questions. They don't listen to
they never apologize. It's like the thing is no one ever apologized for them being wrong. They've been wrong for so many things. It's not like they ever went, wow, hey, man, I'm sorry.
Never.
Plus, they won't even call out their own people. Like, if some politician does something I don't like, regardless of what letter is behind their name, I'm going to say something. I'm going to go, hey, man, this such and such is a dick. I don't like what he says. I don't care if he's got an R or a D behind their name.
Yeah.
They seem to be like, they're lockstep no matter what you do. as long as you're in that club, and that's not healthy.
By the way,
I'm not an activist.
Rick,
Did you see the lady, like, right, they were talking to, I think it was Kennedy Jr., and the lady was going on about, like, I'm in with Tuskegee and all these things. And I'm like, right there, you just made your argument. Why would you trust the government after the Tuskegee experiments?
Yeah.
Like, that, you should be like, yeah, I'm not going to take these. I'm not going to listen to the government after that.
And they're fucking themselves over on every level. Okay, like we'll start with that. I've always said I've said it. You could see 2-3 years ago. I said if you want to control the population, blah blah blah. But that's what I think a lot of this is about. Okay, and I'm sorry, but the fucking real racists are not fucking conservatives who fucking expect everyone to live their life and fucking be responsible for their family and rooted in that. It's the conservatives. I mean, it's the liberals who fucking just think, well, obviously we have to get rid of guns because blacks, they'll take if we ask them, and they'll kill people with guns. And they wanted fucking the blacks to fucking. And they're all like, yeah, that Tuskegee thing, go fuck yourself, because they really wanted to sterilize them as much as anyone, and it blew up on their face. Same thing with Twitter. I mean, Fox News fired Tucker Carlson. They're like, now you're fucked. He's like, no, now you're fucked. Now I'm going on Twitter where I have a...
Wow.
And the writers that fucking sang for the left, no disrespect to you, I'm using it metaphorically, that sang for the left during now there's a writer's strike, and they're dead to the left because they don't need them anymore. Meanwhile, guys that get in the new model like you make your own fucking music, you put out your own fucking videos. You said it, this Aldean thing, when you fucking have something to say with your art, when your music says something and something comes up politically, didn't you say your fucking World on Fire is blowing up today as a result of that?
Yeah, world's gone crazy. Like all of a sudden a bunch of people just started because they're kind of looking for other things. And I just had posted on Matt Walsh's thing. I'm like, funny, we did this a year ago. I guess being an indie artist, I don't get any backlash. And next thing you know, we get a whole bunch of, stuff on it. Somebody's like, you need to hire a leftist to cancel you so I can get more publicity. So if you know any, let me know.
Trust me. I don't think they come on our show anymore. They usually start out at this desk and then they get mad at me because some fucking some kind of disease. But yeah, because again, like I always say that to my friends when I'm talking about you, and I'll be honest, it's not. But whenever you're about to come on, I'm like, no, he says stuff. His music, you're listening to his music, enjoying it. Then you're like, oh wow, let me listen to that again. He's got like you do does that happen a lot? People do a double take on yours. Like he's fucking right. Guy's fucking right. Like the devil on both sides. Like I took that as kind of like talking about what's going on.
Like, okay, I got some, I get people who will totally troll me. And I'm always like, hey, well, thanks for checking it out. God bless. And it's hilarious to watch the response. Yeah. I'm not going to let anybody online get me upset over something. They're like, well, of course you're not. Well, nobody knows who you are. I've never heard of you and you suck and blah, 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 blah. And I'm always like, well, cool. God bless you, man. Have a great day. Thanks for checking it out.
I do that about once every, like, I'm not good at that. Like, I'm good. I'm not kidding. Kiana's really good at that. Like, I was bitching about fucking some guy, and she's like, yeah. And I was yelling at my girlfriend, who's like, she's a comic and a podcaster. I'm like, he's a piece of shit. Don't talk to him. She's like, and she's fucking 20 years younger. She's like, you're an idiot. She's like, I do that because I'm nice to him. She's like, I don't like him, but he hates that I'm nice to him.
Oh, they hate it.
It
drives them nuts.
Yeah, and I look at her like, yeah, all right. And I go like this, I'm going to do that. Fucking die!
Oh, no. I do that when I'm not on the phone. Like, I'll be typing something nice, and I'll look at my wife and be like, guy's a fucking asshole. Oh, my God. And then I'll go back and be like, hey, man, have a great day. And I'll be like, oh, I fucking can't stand this guy. So anyways.
Yeah, you're better. It's the old it's the old Otto in A Fish Called Wanda. I'm very, very, fuck you. I'm sorry. But
good reference. That's a good one.
That's a great move. So here's a question. I'm curious, like with the people, the haters, like, do they ever listen to your music and they enjoy it, and then suddenly they like see the video and they give you shit for the video because suddenly they're realizing the lyrics and what they're saying?
I don't really delve into it that much, so I have no idea. So, and I think most of the people that complain about shit have never seen or heard it. It's kind of like the Sound of Freedom movie. There are people making all this shit up, and I bet you 99% of those people that are complaining about it being some QAnon thing haven't even seen it.
No.
You know what? I wish somebody would push back, because there's no such thing as QAnon. It's like there's no such thing as an assault rifle.
Nope.
There's a guy named Q that God knows where he gets his information, and there's anonymous people on every thread. So, like, to say, like, QAnon, it's like this bullshit, weird talking point that I'm like, Like that's some weird. You want to talk about a dog whistle? I guess it's like.
I love that dog whistle line, but that's just it. That ties back. Hold on, caller. That ties back into what we're saying, where they don't think for themselves. And all you have to say, it's an old Family Guy joke when Lois was running for state and she made all these salient points and no one said anything. She goes 9/11 and they go nuts. You know what I mean? And same thing. It's like you say QAnon. Oh, we don't like this. Is this QAnon? Yeah. We don't like this. And God, let me ask you, as a musician, it's got to drive you even crazier. Rolling Stone. I'm sure you grew up reading Rolling Stone.
It's sad what's happened to that magazine.
It's beyond sad. It must drive a musician like you insane what they've done with it.
Well, you know what? I mean, you realize that all these outlets, like they don't align with who I am as a person, and I don't think that they really care about the industry anymore as far as like what it's supposed to be. So, I mean, whatever, man. There's other things. There's so many other things to watch and listen to and read.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
hey, my dad actually had a really good saying. My dad used to say, a good leader takes you where you want to go, which is kind of like the parent that wants to be your friend.
Yeah.
But a great leader takes you where you need to be or where you have to go, which is not always where you want to go. So that's the same thing. Like a parent that like wants to be their kid's best friend is cool, but it's not. A parent has to be a parent. And that's kind of, I think that's the other thing.
You're going to love this, Rick. If you don't know already, make a fucking song about it. They censured Adam Schiff, right? For what he did with the Steele dossier. And they for the censure, to get the vote, you have to get enough Republicans and Democrats. And they were going to censure him and fine him $16 million. Do you know where they got the number 16 million? You know where they got it, Rick?
Where?
Not trying to stop you. It was half of the $32 million taxpayers paid on the fucking fake Russia investigation, okay?
Right.
And when
that makes sense. I mean, that would actually be nice for the American people to get paid back that because he was a huge proponent of perpetuating that piece of shit.
Now, here's the two parts of common sense that come in, okay? When they finally passed the censure on him, they didn't get enough Republicans to vote to censure Adam Schiff until they dropped the $16 million fine, which begs two questions. Frankie, this is important. I love you.
This is a two-parter, Frankie.
It begs two questions, okay? One, why did the Republicans okay it after they dropped the $16 million? I'll tell you why. Because when we get caught, we don't want to pay $16 million.
Right,
and
exactly.
two, let me ask you something. Why is it not outrageous to fine a politician $16 million when they're civil servants? Because they're all fucking taking money and robbing us.